Alright, Barak the Yahawah, Barak the Yahawashi, Barak the Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to the elect out there, men, women, and children, the Akim, Akwathim, Wabanium, Shayasha, Allah, predestinated to make it out of the impending destruction coming to this place. Alright, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Alright, the true men of the Lord, leaders of Israel in these times. Alright, this is going to be some more proof. I want to say a special shalom to that brother Ashayar for sending this to me. This is just more proof that Lashwan Quadash, that the Hebrew, we are the Hebrews, the descendants of the slaves are the Hebrew Israelites. Alright. And Lashwan Quadash is our language. Lashwan meaning language or speech or tongue. Quadash meaning holy. Alright, so this is an article that was put out on July of, I think it was July of 1897 or something like that. I'm just going to read this and hit some scriptures, man. You know, this is really just proof for the elect, because everybody else outside the elect doesn't believe that this is the true language, our ancient language that was passed down all the way from Adam. Alright, this is it. No matter what you believe, this is just to solidify the faith of the elect, for real. Alright, hope some edification comes out of this. It says, Negro who can write Hebrew. He is a deaf and dumb and comes from an African town. Hartford, Connecticut, September 19th. A young African Negro has been in the city for at least a few days who claims to be a Hebrew. He is deaf and dumb and as black as the ace of spades. The Esau is being an asshole, man. Alright, nobody's black. He was brown. Alright. It says he carries a pad of paper with him and answers all questions by writing them in Hebrew and Loshen Kodesh. Alright, what he was trying to say was Lashwan Kodash, which means a holy tongue, a holy speech. What excites the most wonder is that he writes Lashwan Kodash or Lashon Kodesh very rapidly. It is the language of the books of Moses and is made a special study of, spoken and writing with ease only by the rabbis and highly educated Hebrew. The Negro was sent to one of the rabbis of Hartford, who is perfectly satisfied that he is a Hebrew. He says that he came from a large town in Africa where there is a tribe of about 20,000 black Hebrews who speak Lashwan Kodash and are quite prosperous. Alright, he also says that his father is a rabbi in that town, and that is why his father took the trouble to teach him to write these languages, which needed an extra amount of labor on account of his being deaf and dumb. He says his people not only write in Lashwan Kodash, but it is their speaking language as well. He left home a few years ago and has seen a good deal of the world. In each town he hunts up the Jewish section, and there they give him clothes, food, and money. What surprises him, he writes, is that no Hebrew knows of his countrymen in Africa. So there were multiple countries he was saying that he would go to, alright, in Africa, and they would be speaking Lashwan Kodash. Alright, so this is Jeremiah 17:4. It says, And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage which I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not, for he hath kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Alright, now part of our heritage, when you look at that word heritage, is Nachalah in the Hebrew, alright, or in the Lashwan Kodash. Alright. When you look up the word heritage, it says something that is handed down from the past as a tradition. And one of those things was our language, alright, and it got passed down through Shem. Alright, through Shem, and then Shem had Arphaxad. Arphaxad had Shelah begat Eber. This is First Chronicles, okay, 1:19. Alright, let's look up Eber's name, because it was something that was handed down from the past. Well, it was, alright. That slave who was writing that Lashwan Kodash was a descendant of Eber or Ibar. Alright, now when you go into this name, it means to pass over. Alright? You go all the way into the root, and it should say, right, to pass over or through, bring, carry, do away, take. Alright? And that's what went on with our language. Alright? That's why he said he was taught this, and some 20,000 black Hebrews were also speaking Loshen Kaddish, and this is their version of how they try to say it. Let's write it Loschenkhodish, which that should be Lashwan Kodash. Alright? That's Eber, man. Alright? That's what was carried on, part of our heritage that got stripped from us. Alright? According to this prophecy, it was passed down through Eber, but it got taken from us. We got beaten out of us in slavery, but there were still a lot of our people who were still speaking it. 2 Peter 3 and 1. This second epistle, beloved, I write now unto you, in which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, that ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before the holy prophets, and of the commandments of the apostles of the Lord and Savior. So it says we're stirring up our pure minds, right? And when we're thinking in English, all right, when you think in English, you're not thinking completely. Let me just say this: you're not thinking 100% pure in with Yahawah Yahawashi, because number one, we're not thinking in our own language. You know, we have not received our incorruptible bodies. You know, these bodies are foul. The flesh is weak. All right, so we're stirring up our pure minds, our pure spirits, all right, by way of remembrance. Remembering what was written of the holy prophets. And one thing that was written was something concerning our language. Here's one of the holy prophets, what he said, Zephaniah 3 and 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one consent. And that pure language is what this guy, with this slave, had wrote. Alright, what this Edomite had wrote concerning a slave. He said he even wrote the Lashwan Kodash very rapidly. And he said his people even spoke it, not just wrote it and read it, but spoke it. Alright, so now in these times, that's why we know, man, this has to be our language, man, and this is proof. Alright, this is proof, and you can go look this up. Just go on the internet and type in 1897, educated African Jewish man is conceptually confusing to Americans. Right, because this so-called Negro is actually a Hebrew, a descendant of either Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, one of the 12 tribes, and he was speaking and writing Lashwan Kodash, so you can't get around this anymore, man. Alright, a lot. So this is a solidifier of the faiths and the sincere, hopeful elect out there, and proof to debunk everyone out there who says the Lashwan Kodash is not our holy language. It is, man. Alright, whether you want to believe it or not. So call Halal Yahawah Yahawashi, praise to the Most High name of the Son. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom to our apostles and elders. Barak and double honors to you. And Shalom.